that news does not wait. We know that news is always live and breaking, and we know that you hate missing out on the news. Don't be denied live news anymore. No more fear of missing out. You can watch the news anytime, anywhere, on any device. All you have to do is open your browser, Google Republic live stream and tap to watch the news. Well, let's move on to the top story that we have been tracking. Droupadi Murmu is leading when it comes to the presidential elections, viewers. And in fact, celebrations have already started, not just at her residence in New Delhi, but also in her native place there in Odisha as well. Celebrations happening as well. Women dancing, those are the visuals coming in on the screens of that. There's a short while back, Rajya Sabha General Secretary P.C. Modi announced that the counting of votes of MPs has concluded, and he said that Murmu received the votes of 540 MPs. Yashwant Sinha bagged the votes of only 208 parliamentarians, which means that Droupadi Murmu is leading by a very, very huge margin. Celebrations happening in multiple places. In Delhi at her residence, where our correspondent Piyush is there, and also in her hometown. Celebrations commenced at Odisha, Rairangpur village, the native place of NDA presidential candidate Droupadi Murmu. So essentially, when it comes to the numbers, let's do the numbers. 540 votes for Droupadi Murmu and 208 votes for Yashwant Sinha as well. So basically, we are seeing that Droupadi Murmu there is leading by a very, very huge margin. And it's very important to know that if Droupadi Murmu wins, she will be the first tribal woman to become the president of India. And Piyush is joining me live. Piyush, take us through what is happening where you are. We believe that there's a cultural program which will also begin soon, and this is happening at the residence of Droupadi Murmu in New Delhi.
Well, yes, there are multiple locations from where we are getting the pictures of celebrations. Those have kicked in even before the final results are announced of the counting. I'm showing you the pictures from right inside the Droupadi Murmu's residence. You can see that is the enclosure which has been dedicated for media for covering all the happenings here. That's the stage also which has been set up here, and there is only one chair which has been put up there on the stage. What we are given to understand is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also expected to come here, and Droupadi Murmu, if she comes here in this very hall, she will be coming from that side, because that's the very place where she lives. That's the enclosure. Whenever she comes here, she will be felicitated by Prime Minister. This is what we are now learning. So we are getting these pictures coming in from different parts of the country where the celebrations have already started, because NDA is now expecting that she will not only secure a huge victory, but also more than 70% votes would be there in the favor of Droupadi Murmu. The first round of voting has already indicated that she has got 540 votes in her kitty, and around 200 votes are there in the favor of Yashwant Sinha. So we can certainly see as to how Droupadi Murmu is also to become the 15th president of India. What we are given to understand is that in few minutes from now, the returning officer inside the parliament will also do a press conference where he will be detailing out about the kind of votes in favor of both the candidates.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Piyush. I'm just coming back to you. Just want our viewers to know one thing, that PM Modi will be meeting Droupadi Murmu. That's expected to happen around 4:30 p.m. PM Modi to meet Droupadi Murmu, Piyush, at 4:30 p.m. Over to you, Piyush. Continue.
Well, absolutely, and that is why preparations have been done here. Massive security is in place. If Anil can show you, you can see the police personnel have been deployed there in very large numbers. All the gates have been completely manned by the SPG officers. Delhi police officers in large number have been deployed there. All the entry and exit points are being thoroughly checked. So Prime Minister is expected to reach here, and he will be meeting with Droupadi Murmu soon after the announcement of results, which will be done by returning officer from the parliament. We are showing you pictures from inside her residence, and that's the entry point. Once again, I would ask Anil to show you. That's the entry point from where Droupadi Murmu would be coming, as in when the Prime Minister also reaches here, because what we are given to understand is that a felicitation program has been kept here by the BJP, and that is why, media is also here in large numbers. So we can expect that movement to take place in few minutes from now. But first announcement would be made by returning officer, in Parliament, and and then we can expect Prime Minister to come here and to felicitate Droupadi Murmu. Multiple events have been planned by BJP. JP Nadda's roadshow has also been planned in Delhi itself soon after the win of NDA's candidate Droupadi Murmu. Now let us also talk about her background. Remember that she hails from Odisha in Rairangpur village, where she was, her earlier profession was a teacher. She shot to fame in 2017 when she was the governor of Jharkhand, and during that time the then BJP government had passed 2 laws which had given powers to the government to take over the lands of tribal community. But it was Droupadi Murmu which returned those laws and said that she is not going to sign any kind of injustice being given to tribals. After that, multiple things took place in her life, and then finally when NDA had to choose its candidate for the 15th president for 15th presidential elections of India, many names came out in front of BJP's parliamentary board, where finally the name of Droupadi Murmu was announced, looking at her background, looking at the kind of services which she has given. Also, she belonging from tribal community. Soon after the announcement which was made by the BJP's parliamentary board, we also saw as to how Droupadi Murmu came out, and she also held meetings with different political parties. She also thanked NDA for announcing her as the NDA's presidential candidate. In fact, she also spoke to media where she said that around 10 crore tribals of India are very much happy. They are very much elated to the fact that she has been announced as NDA's presidential candidate. So today, when the results are also set to be announced, Droupadi Murmu is tipped to become the 15th president of India. Before that, celebrations have already started in different parts of the country. I am right now present in Droupadi Murmu's residence, and once again let me try to show you pictures where you can see how the BJP has planned massive event. PM Modi is also expected to reach here. The entry gates have also been decorated. Flowers have been put up there at the gates. The gates are also being thoroughly checked. Also on the other side, that's the entry point. If Anil can try to pan his camera and zoom. You can see that's the entrance point from where Droupadi Murmu would be coming out when Prime Minister reaches here. Also, if he pans to his right, there's a stage which has been, put up here inside Droupadi Murmu's residence, and there is only one chair which has been kept here. So, a big celebration program, felicitation program has been planned by BJP here inside Droupadi Murmu's residence. We'll have to wait and watch when Prime Minister reaches here, and as in when he reaches here, we will see a felicitation program that would also be done by Prime Minister. Top leadership of BJP is also expected to reach here. So any minute from now, we can expect a press conference also by returning officer inside the parliament, who will be announcing the final results. The first round of voting is indicating that Droupadi Murmu has secured more than 70% votes in her favor. Around 540 votes have been polled in favor of Droupadi Murmu, and Yashwant Sinha has got 208 votes. So it would be a big win for Droupadi Murmu if she becomes the next president of India, 15th president of India. And here at her residence in Delhi, big mega event has been planned by BJP, where she will be felicitated by the top leadership of BJP, and also Prime Minister is expected to reach here in few minutes from now. Shivangi.
Right. Well, Piyush, so that big meeting will take place, viewers. Piyush is getting us those updates. So basically at 4:30 p.m., viewers, Droupadi Murmu will be meeting PM Modi. That's the big news coming in. And Piyush, the fact that Droupadi Murmu is leading is not coming as a surprise, because several non-NDA parties had decided to back Murmu. So the fact that she's leading right now by a very, very huge margin, it shows the kind of backing that she had and the confidence that the parties have on her.
Well, absolutely. You would remember that it was opposition political parties which had come out with the name of Yashwant Sinha, and they were seen on one platform. But soon after the announcement of the name of Droupadi Murmu, many opposition political parties, which include YSRCP, JMM, Mayawati's BSP, TDP, many political parties came out in support of Droupadi Murmu. BJD was the first one from Odisha, which said that as she hails from Odisha, BJD would come out in open support paper. And then we saw many opposition political parties who are not even part of NDA. They came out and they extended their complete support to Droupadi Murmu. So that is why we can expect a landslide victory of Droupadi Murmu. And in fact, BJP is hoping, NDA is hoping that she would be getting more than 70% of vote. And that is what we have also seen in the first round of voting also, where she has secured 540 votes out of 740 votes there. Those have so far been polled. Around 15 votes have also been termed as the invalid. So it will be a huge victory for Droupadi Murmu. This is what the NDA has also expected, and that is why mega events have been planned, massive celebration has been planned. We are getting these pictures coming in from different parts of the country, from Delhi, from Odisha. If we talk about the campaign also which took place for the presidential elections, remember that personal attacks were made on Droupadi Murmu, where she was also called evil philosophy by Congress Party, where Congress Party had said that she represents an evil philosophy. In fact, it was the Tejasvi Yadav who said that Droupadi Murmu would be a rubber stamp, but Droupadi Murmu did not get that. She continued to campaign. She reached out to multiple political parties, and then we saw opposition political parties also coming out in support of Droupadi Murmu. So today, looking at the massive support which she is enjoying, we can clearly see a huge win of Droupadi Murmu. But returning officer of parliament is going to do press conference in a short while from now, and then only we will be able to know about the exact details about the final results of the 15th presidential elections. But if she wins, then she will be the first tribal woman becoming president of India, and second woman president of India. In fact, for that itself, BJP has planned mega event not only in Delhi but in Odisha. We can see pictures coming in from Odisha also, from Delhi also, where celebrations have already kicked in even before the final results